Welcome to Cocos 2D Tutorials, brought to you by Bob Euland. For more information, go to bobuland.com/cocos2d. This tutorial is called Simple Collision Detection. Collision detection in general is difficult, and there are research articles published about it. But there are special cases that are important and easier to handle. In CG geometry reference, there are two functions that we can use. The first function is called CG rect intersects rect. You provide two rectangles, and the function returns yes if they intersect, otherwise no. The second function is called CG rect contains a point. You provide a rectangle and a point, and the function returns yes if the rectangle contains the point, otherwise no. Let's look a little closer at CG rect intersects rect. If two rectangles are not rotated with respect to each other, the function works as expected. However, if they are rotated, then the function encloses the rotated rectangle with a bigger one and then makes a test. This will not return the result you expect, as you can see here. Luckily, many games can manage with the scenario on the left. For instance, in the Pong game we have a ball, pedals and walls. The ball can collide with the pedals and the walls, but there is no rotation. In another game called Pac-Man, we can just check if two bounding rectangles overlap, as you can see here. How is this done in Xcode? First, we have to send a schedule update message to a node. That will make the system send an update message to the node approximately 60 times per second. We can trap those update messages and do something intelligent. Here we are moving the ball by adding the ball velocity to the previous position. And here we are checking if the ball and the wall collide by checking if their bounding boxes intersect. Let's see how this is done in Xcode. We are inside Xcode. Our task is to make a ball fly on the screen. And when the ball hits the wall, change its direction. Our plan is to use ccnode's schedule update method and CG rect intersects rect to detect a collision. In our resources, we have an image called whitepixel.png. It is just one pixel, so you probably can't see it on the screen, but it is there. Let's go to the Hello World layer, which you can see is empty. And in the interface file, let's add some instance variables. We have two sprites, one called wall and the other called ball, and a point called ball velocity. Let's go to the implementation file in the init method and add some code. The first thing we do is to call a method initAssets, and then we call schedule update. Let's add the initAssets method. And as you can see, we are first creating the wall sprite with our whitepixel.png. and stretching it 10 pixels in the X direction and 60 pixels in the Y direction. We are coloring it red and place it in the middle of the screen. And then we add it to the screen. And similarly for the ball sprite. We are making it 14 by 14 pixels, coloring it green and placing it at 0, 100. Then we are adding it to the screen. Here we defined our ball velocity as 3 by 1. We have a schedule update. That means that we must have an update method. Let's add it. The first thing we do is to add the ball velocity to the previous ball location, so that we make the ball move. And then for each update tick, we check if the bounding rectangles of our ball and the wall sprites intersect. And if they do, we change the ball velocity by reversing the X component. So let's see if this works. There is our ball, and as you can see, it bounces off the wall. So it all works. And you can easily extend this example by making the red ball movable and call it paddle. Put some walls along the edges of the screen, and soon you'll have a Pong game. Thank you for watching.